Tonight with major breaking news out of Yolo County.
Holy, this is major, man. This is major.
A dramatic sight. Take a look. A major explosion at a fireworks facility rocked the area in and around the town of Esparto this afternoon. Several people tell ABC 10 they felt and heard explosions, watching as plumes of black smoke and fireworks spread across the horizon. The blast caused other smaller fires, forcing nearby residents to evacuate. Tonight, this warehouse is still burning. The fire is being called the Oakdale Fire. And take a look at this map right here on your screen. The Yolo County Sheriff's Office says the explosion happened near County Road 23 and County Road 86A. The site of the fire is just a few miles south of the city of Esparto. Fire officials have been speaking to us throughout the night. And ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha is live in Yolo County near the scene. Garshpal, firefighters just moments ago said that they will be working all through the night to get this fire contained. What else are you learning there on the ground?
Yeah, Laura, and fire crews are breathing a little sigh of relief at this point because just a few hours ago, crews were worried about what this fire could do, just how many fireworks were going to go off here. But right now, they're monitoring this fire. They're hoping the weather is going to comply with them so they can completely put out this fire. Now, I just wanted to explain where we are. We're just in Madison here. Caltrans has closed down westbound Highway 60 that's going towards Esparto over there. They want to lessen the traffic because that's where a lot of Cal Fire, Esparto Fire, Yolo County Sheriff's Office, CHP is down there. You may be able to see some of the emergency lights there. That is the command post that fire crews are at. Now, this fire is burning south of Highway 16. This is in a rural part of Yolo County. Luckily, it wasn't near the town of Esparto because if it was going to be in the town of Esparto, it was going to be some serious damage. But tonight, this is what officials are telling us. A fireworks warehouse in Yolo County turned into a dangerous spectacle Tuesday evening, sending fireballs and explosions into the sky near Esparto and Madison.
But I mean, it was scary because at the same time when you felt it, the windows were shaking, the whole floor was shaking, the whole house was shaking.
Fire officials say the blast happened near County Road 23 and 86A. Crews rushed in around 5:50, but by then, several commercial buildings were already on fire, and flames had already jumped into nearby vegetation.
We believe that one warehouse facility, a large fire from that facility led to numerous spot fires in the area.
Preliminary information states structures were destroyed. The state fire marshal's arson bomb unit is now investigating.
And in this particular incident, there's a lot of vehicles, a lot of things on the road that did hinder us from getting here.
I thought it was like a bomb or something, like something big, because there's a big commotion.
Heard two more explosions. He tried to open the door and the pressure kind of pushed him back inside, like somebody was trying to come in.
While crews investigate the cause, neighbors say this is something they will never forget.
I feel more strong because like the whole floor is shaking and then you're trying to like move around, but you can't. You kind of stay still in one position.
And back out here live, westbound Highway 60 again is closed towards Esparto. Traffic coming from Esparto towards the Woodland, Madison area, that is open. Now, crews tell us that's going to remain the case for a few hours. Now, fire crews are going to be here overnight, making sure that fire does not ignite, and because there's a lot of different hurdles that they have to go through, especially when pyrotechnics are involved. But crews is sort of breathing a sigh of relief that this fire didn't expand more than the 80 acres that it burned, because this put off a lot of spot fires, so crews were able to jump on that. But right now they're just going to make sure this fire is contained, and hopefully the weather tonight it complies. Reporting live in Yolo County, Garshpal Sangha, ABC 10.
Yeah, certainly a delicate situation and a developing situation, Garshpal. We've learned so much from you just being out there on the scene for hours this evening. Keep us posted as you learn more. Garshpal, thank you. Now, we want to show you this. Take a look. Evacuation orders were just expanded moments ago. Tonight, the areas between State Route 16 and south to County Road 25 are now under evacuation orders. Those are those areas you see on your screen in red. A majority of the city of Esparto is not under any evacuation order, but people living there should be prepared in case of any flare-ups as firefighters work to put out the fire. everyone is being asked to avoid this area. As this fire burns tonight, ABC 10 investigative reporter Andy Judson has been digging into who's behind the fireworks involved and whether they were being legally sold. Andy, tell us what you've learned tonight. I know there's a lot of information to sift through.
That's right, Laura. In California, anyone selling fireworks, even just from a temporary stand, has to have a license or permit. And I looked up the license for this address on California's Fire Marshal website. It's registered to Black Star Fireworks, and it's valid through June 2026. Now, the license also lists an owner, and I reached out and he did confirm he owns Black Star, but he said his company is not to blame for this explosion or fire. In a text message to me, he pointed to a specific firework product involved, and that product is distributed out of San Francisco. And it's also worth noting it does also have a valid license. Now, we are still trying to get in touch with that company to hear their side. And of course, we'll update you as soon as we do. Laura.
Yeah, valuable information. Andy Judson, thank you. And this explosion and fire is still actively being investigated by fire investigators. We will continue to keep you updated on air and online at abc10.com as more information continues to come in. Now, tonight, I talked with California's Deputy Fire Marshal, Kara Garrett, about what next steps in this fire investigation will look like and who could be at fault for a fire like this. She says what people witnessed today is very rare here in California.
So we do believe this location is owned by an active pyrotechnic license holder. And as part of our investigation, we will be working to determine that everything happening at the facility was within our license requirements. This type of incident is very rare, as facilities like this are required to not only follow our stringent California pyrotechnic requirements, but also federal explosive storage requirements.
And just giving us some more perspective on a fire like this, in our conversations, I had heard, maybe it's been more than 2 decades since CAL FIRE has dealt with something like this. Can you give us some perspective on the rarity of a fire in this situation?
Yes, so this is very rare. And in my time with CAL FIRE, I've never seen it. And then even with our state fire marshal, who's been with our office for over 20 years, he's never seen it as well. So yes, over 2 decades, we have never seen this before. It is very rare. I believe that it's rare just because California does have those stringent California pyrotechnic requirements and also the federal explosive storage requirements. They're both in place. So that makes this a very rare situation for this to happen.
Give us some insight into what an investigation into a fire like this would look like. Bring us into the eyes of what you're looking for.
Yes, so we are assisting primarily the Esparto Fire District in that origin and cause for this investigation of the fire. And the specifics that the investigators are looking at really is on our arson and bomb investigators and that fire district. So it's very specific to where they're at, what they're looking for, what caused it, and also where it was caused in that building, and then go from there.
Are there any federal agencies that could get involved in the investigation?
So yes, ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, they are a part of the regulators. So they enforce the federal explosive storage requirements. For our arson and bomb unit, the mission itself for our CAL FIRE Office of the State Fire Marshal's arson and bomb unit is to investigate the origin, cause, and circumstances of fires and explosions on state of California property. In addition, the arson and bomb unit is available to assist these local jurisdictions that have the investigative resources in order to determine if the fire, or in this case, the explosion, is criminal in nature. And as I mentioned, we will be doing that investigation to see what was violated for the licensure on the back end.
Garrett adds that if any fireworks are found in this area and are considered dangerous, they will be seized and moved to a secure storage facility that are all examined by state investigators. Meanwhile, we also talked with Julie Heckman, the executive director of the American Pyrotechnics Association, to learn more about tonight's fire in Esparto and what may have gone wrong.
What happened at that facility that would have sparked such a significant explosion and for it to transfold so very, very quickly? And I think that's what we're eager to know. Again, firework industry has a impeccable record when it comes to safety. And so getting to the bottom of what sparked this particular incident is very important to us.
And take a look at this new time-lapse video from Alert, California of the fire in Esparto that continues to burn tonight. Quite a dramatic scene. You can see just how large those plumes of black smoke got earlier today. And other small fires also started up as a result of the explosion. Let's get to meteorologist Brendan Minchiff now with more on the conditions firefighters are dealing with as they work to battle that fire in Yolo County. Brendan, what are you seeing?
Yeah, well, one of the things that we saw earlier was that smoke plume. We just saw what it looked like on camera, but this is what it looked like from the Sacramento radar. At about 5:45-ish, you saw that initial explosion, and then there were a few more that happened over the next hour or so. And it was very visible on radar. Anytime we start seeing like the yellows and oranges, and we're not talking about rain, because typically that means rain, you know that something significant has happened. And in this case, of course, that was the explosions there at the fireworks facility. Here's what it looks like right now on the Alert California camera facing towards that facility. So there's a lot of lights going on, but this is the area that we're focusing on where that fire has been and continues to burn. Now, the grass fire portion, the vegetation fire portion, that forward progress has been stopped, but that facility itself is still on fire tonight. I also was talking about the power outages. If you caught us on ABC 10 Plus about an hour ago, well, the good news is the majority of those PG&E outages along Highway 16 have been restored. It's now just 600 customers instead of 2,100 customers out, and the majority of those are just to the west of Woodland. Here's some of those winds. Still seeing some northwesterly winds in the Esparto area, about 25 mile-per-hour gusts right now. Relative humidity about 33%, so that is starting to come back up a little bit. That's helpful. But, you know, one of the things is it's still very warm. Although we are in the 60s in Sacramento, it is still in the mid-80s out there because of those down-sloping winds coming out of the northwest. So it'll definitely be helpful when the temperature starts to come down. I've got a lot of weather to talk about, though, including a cool down for the rest of us. That's coming up in just a few minutes, Laura.
Yeah, that really helps put this all in perspective. Brendan, thank you. And our coverage on the fireworks fire in Esparto does not end here. We stream tonight's news conference and more from the scene on the ABC 10 Plus TV app. You can find that coverage on our home screen. Just search for Esparto Fire.